Welcome back, fight fans, to another episode of GTS Combat. And yo, I'm looking ahead to what's definitely a highly anticipated fight. And it's not even going to be the main event. It's not even going to be the co-main event. It's going to be the fight before the co-main event. And it's still going to be 5 rounds. It's the return of Nick Diaz, 38 years of age. It's going to be 6 years since we last seen him in the octagon, 2015, when he had that no contest against Anderson Silva. And he's going to be running it back 17 years in the making, this rematch. Last time it was 2004, April 3rd, 2004, UFC 47. It's on against Robbie Lawler, ruthless Robbie Lawler. And here we are running it back 17 years down the line. So let's get into it. Like I said, you got Nick Diaz, 38 years of age. That's 29-6 with 2 no contests, broken down into 13-2 coming via TKO or knockout, and then also 8-0 coming via submission. Whilst you got Robbie Lawler on the other hand, he's 28-15 with 1 no contest, and that's broken down into 20-2 coming via TKO or knockout, but 1-6 coming via submission. That's 1 victory and 6 losses coming via submission. So you can potentially see an avenue for victory for old Nick Diaz over here. But yeah, it's been some time since we've seen him. Like I said, 6 years since Nick Diaz has last been in the octagon. He's missed practically a lot of his prime years. Like, you know, he would have been 32 when we last seen him, which is pretty much a lot of fighters' prime age, really. You know, sort of from 27 to maybe 34, you would consider potentially an MMA fighter's prime, in my opinion. I may be wrong. But yeah, you got old Robbie Lawler on the other hand. He's even older now at 39 years of age. But at least we've seen Robbie Lawler a bit more recently. But it hasn't really been going his way, let's be honest. He's lost his last 4. And the last one was against Neil Magny. I believe he lost a 3-round fight via unanimous decision. Prior to that, he lost a 5-round fight via unanimous decision to old Kobe Covington. And then also, just before that, he got submitted in the first round to old fucking Ben Askren. Old funky fucking Ben Askren. I know it was a bit controversial. That was probably the last time we saw Robbie Lawler looking like a bit of his former self. He really did let them hands go. He dropped down some bombs on Ben Askren, but he managed to, you know, ride the storm. And then, you know, the finish was a bit controversial with the way the arm dropped. But Herb Dean was probably right for calling it. You know, we saw what Herb saw, and it did look like Lawler was out. But unfortunately, he probably wasn't, because he popped straight back up. But whether, ifs and buts and whatnot, he lost the fight. So that was 3 in a row. Obviously, we're going backwards. And then even prior to that, he lost to RDA, a 5-round fight via unanimous decision once again. Lawler. But yeah, just before that, he did win a fight, 3-round fight via unanimous decision. He beat old Donald Cowboy Cerrone. But just before that was when he lost his belt to Tyron Woodley via knockout in the first round. So, for what's that for Lawler? Fucking 4 losses in a row, but he's lost 5 out of his last 6 outings in the UFC. It's been a tough time for him since he lost his belt to Tyron Woodley. So how do we see this one playing out? You know, 17 years since the first time these two faced off in the octagon. And Nick Diaz got the better of Lawler that time as well, back in 2004. It's not painting a very good picture for Robbie Lawler here, is it? And you'd think, like I said, 1-6 via submission. That's his record, coming via submission for Robbie Lawler, whilst 8-0 for Nick Diaz, coming via submission. So you're probably thinking, well, did Nick Diaz submit him 17 years ago? No, he didn't. He took the fight to him. He walked Robbie Lawler down. And yeah, he set the tone. He set the pace of the fight. Nick Diaz did. He took it to Robbie Lawler. And yeah, he basically outstruck him for however long the fight lasted. And I'll tell you how long it lasted. About a round and a half, because he knocked him out fucking in the second round, yeah. And I remember it was like Lawler looked a bit frustrated. I think he thought, I'm going to kind of rush in a bit. He came forward, looked aggressive, and yeah, he walked into a punch. I don't even think he really knew what hit him. He fell on his face. He popped back up. He was knocked out for about a moment. But like I said, when the ref waved it off, he popped back up. And he was quite pissed that the ref waved the fight off. He was thinking the fight should have continued. But that's because I don't believe he knew what hit him. I don't believe he knew what happened. I don't believe he knew what dropped him. So here's his chance to right this wrong, to, almost rewrite history, to, say, that didn't happen all them years ago. Forget about the past. I'm the winner now after all these years. 39 years of age, 38 years of age. They're coming towards the end of their career, but this is going to be an intriguing fight, in my opinion. You got two big names. You got the return of Nick Diaz, and you got ruthless Robbie Lawler, the former welterweight champion of the world. But Robbie Lawler, he's been a bit gun shy. He hasn't had, the best time of it. Like I said, losing his last 4, losing his last 5 of 6, and yeah, he hasn't really been letting them hands go. Maybe his career is coming towards the end. So how do we see this one playing out? Well, it all really depends on how Nick Diaz looks, let's be honest. Let me just have a little sip of me old coffee. But not really a coffee drinker, but I've just done a 4-mile run. Haven't really eaten anything. Thought I'll do this little video, and I'm going to get myself to the gym in a bit. So yeah, trying to shed a few pounds after overeating last night. But if you want to see a bit of what I get up to in my spare time, in my free time, how my whole weight loss journey has played out and how I look to continue it, go check out the other channel, Get That Smoke. It's the original channel, track my weight loss journey, tracked everything I'll be doing, and I try to post on there as often as I can, not so much as I should be, but there's still going to be content coming, so make sure you check it out. Go look back through all the old videos. There's plenty of content for you to see, and you'll see the old former fat me. So yeah, and I know, probably looking a bit chubby right now, but like I said, had my cheat day yesterday with my kids, and I'm making up for it today. So yeah, but let's continue with this. So yeah, it really does depend how Nick Diaz looks, what Nick Diaz turns up. Like I said, it's been 6 years since we've seen him in the octagon. That no contest against Anderson Silva, it went 5 rounds, but he got put down as a no contest, and that was in 2015. And prior to that, he also lost a 5-round unanimous decision to GSP and to Carlos Condit back to back. And then also, prior to that was his first fight during his second stint in the UFC. He beat BJ Penn via unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. And then prior to that, he had his Strikeforce champion title defense. He beat Paul Daly with 4 minutes 57 on the clock in the first round. So 3 seconds to spare in the first round. He knocked out Paul Daly. So yeah, and that was his Strikeforce championship defense. And yeah, then he came back to the UFC. That was for his second stint. He's had 2 stints in the UFC, old Nick Diaz. That just shows how long he's been in the sport. He is a veteran of the game, and so is Robbie Lawler. It's going to be 2 veterans facing off just for bragging rights almost. 38 and 39 years of age. This one is purely for bragging rights. I don't really see either of the two going and putting together another run for the title. It is just to say, I'm the better dude. After all these years, who's the better dude now? 17 years down the line, Nick Diaz got 1 over Lawler. Maybe if Lawler gets 1 over Nick, do we see a trilogy just to, put it to bed? That would be good to see. But I'm going to go with probably Nick Diaz, just because I feel like after all these years, he's got to come back, and he can't lose, can he? Like, if he loses after all these years, it kind of just makes it look like a bit of a joke for him. Like, what did you even come back for? It makes no sense. If he loses, is he going to have another fight? I highly doubt it. So I'm backing Nick Diaz to get the victory. Robbie Lawler has looked gun shy. He doesn't let them hands go anymore. He kind of waits for his opponent too much. Maybe looking for that one Hail Mary to spin their jaw and hopefully get his arm raised. That's what it looks like Lawler's waiting for. But I feel like 1-6 on his record via submission. 8-0 via submission for Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz also did knock him out in the first fight between these two. So he obviously has the hands to outstrike Lawler as well. I just feel like Nick Diaz must have his number then. He must have more ways to win this fight. He can outstrike him and he could submit him. You know, the first fight, everyone was shocked because everyone knew Nick Diaz as the jiu-jitsu guy. And he came into that fight and just took it to Robbie Lawler, walked him down and outstruck him. Everyone was blown away that he was doing this to Robbie Lawler. And he still has his jiu-jitsu in his back pocket. So I got to back Nick Diaz for this one. I'm going to go for feeling like a second or third round finish for him. And I don't even know how. Whether he's going to come in and look to outstrike him again. Or is he going to look to twist him up and get him and tie him up on the ground and go for a submission. I really don't know. But I suppose I have to do so. I have to say something. So I'm going to go for, I feel like it's going to go a little bit longer. He's going to, you know, he's been out of the game for a while. Maybe he's going to take the first round to kind of fill Robbie Lawler out. And Robbie Lawler, like I said, he has been a bit gun shy, so I can't see him just going all crazy on him. But maybe we're wrong. Maybe Lawler's going to come out explosive. Maybe he thinks, what have I got to lose now? If that's the case, that could either play into Nick Diaz's hands, where Robbie Lawler gassed himself out maybe, or Nick Diaz could be not so prepared for that because he saw the gun-shy Robbie Lawler, so he may not be expecting that, and then maybe that makes him have to react a lot, and then he kind of gasses out. We really don't know how this fight is going to play out, but I'm going to favour Nick Diaz to get his arm raised, and I'm actually going to go with a third round submission. That's going to be my official prediction. So yeah, third round submission. I feel like he's going to maybe feel him out a bit in the first round. Kind of take it to him a bit more in the second. Hurt maybe Lawler a little bit, you know, with using his strikes. But then look to get him to the ground. And then I think you'll see that he has a big advantage there. So in the third round, that's where he's going to really put his focus on getting Robbie Lawler to the ground. And when he does so, I feel like he's going to tie him up and get that submission. That is my official prediction. Nick Diaz, third round submission. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. I've been your boy Jimmy. This has been GTS Combat. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time, where I should be doing a full card prediction. So make sure you check it out. Peace.